What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be going over the average 40 time for high school players based on their position. Now, don't worry if you're not living up to these averages. We're going to talk about at the end of the video some things that you could do to improve your 40 time to hopefully get you to this point. So I hope it's able to help you out. Let's get started. Now, one thing I will say, fellas, before we get into this is that the 40-yard dash is not the be-all, end-all of like football recruiting or determining if you're fast enough to play football. Like, guys, I'm telling you this right now, the 40 is insanely technical. And when we talk about some things that are going to help you improve your 40 time, it's going to be technique based as well. And it's just like if you have a bad start, you could be a guy who's truly like a 4.5 40-yard dash. You have a bad start, you could end up running a 4.7. So it's like and a 4.7 to 4.5 is a big deal in the football world. Your primary focus should be just honestly developing game speed. How fast are you when the helmet's on, the pad's on, and what can you showcase on film? I remember when I was a high school coach, how we would scout speed to determine if somebody was like fast or not on the other team when we were scouting them, is if they could cover 5 yards in 2 strides, that guy's pretty fast. If they were taking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to get 5 yards, then we're like, okay, he's probably not that fast. He might be a little bit quick, but he's not generationally like generally fast. So just focus on game speed. That's honestly what I feel college coaches are more concerned with, but a lot of people put a lot of stress on the 40 time, and a lot of people ask me a lot of questions because it is kind of a good gauge to see maybe where you're at if the technique's on point. So for quarterbacks, this is going to be mainly for like varsity level players, okay, not freshmen. And if you have questions, if you're a freshman, just post them in the comments. I answer every comment, you guys. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. But I would say for a varsity level quarterback, your 40-yard dash should be a 4.8. Now, if you're a pocket passer, obviously different story, but if you're more of a dual threat, I would say a 4.8 40-yard dash would be deemed average. Anything below that would be deemed fast. Now, fellas, before we get into the rest of these 40 times, if you are a quarterback or wide receiver watching this video and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, we are going to be traveling out to 7 more cities across the entire country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps this offseason, fellas. So, guys, if you want some more information, go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. Next up on our camp tour, we're going to be coming out to Newark, New Jersey. Then after that, we're going to be coming out to Birmingham, Alabama. Then we'll be coming out to Houston, Texas. That camp, though, guys, is completely sold out. After that, we'll be heading out to Boston, Massachusetts. Then we'll be coming out to Columbus, Ohio. That camp, though, is completely sold out. Then we'll be heading out to Boise, Idaho, and finishing off the tour in Los Angeles, California. So, guys, want some more information? You want to learn how you can sign up? Go to that very first link in the description below. Seriously, guys, all of our camps will sell out probably within the next week or so. We only have about 3 to 4 spots remaining in those camps. We limit spots just so we can work with each athlete individually. You guys have all been to camps, so there's a million people there and just go as fast as you can. That's not what we do. So, guys, if you want to sign up, very first link in that description below. We'd love to have you there. Let's get back to this video. All right, so we're going to go over pretty much all the general position groups, and then we'll get into some things that will help you get faster. Quarterback's kind of a specific one because, like, I mean, if you're a good quarterback, you're a good quarterback at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, like, you don't really necessarily need speed, but at all other positions, I would say, maybe with the exception of O-line, you generally need some type of athleticism, right? So for receivers and DBs, I would say like a varsity level receiver DB, a good gauge would probably be like a 4.6 40-yard dash. If you're running like a 4.6 40-yard dash, I would say that's probably it's probably pretty good. I would say it's a good gauge. Anything below that is obviously insanely fast. Like if you're at a combine or a camp and you clock in anything below a 4.6, you're going to turn a lot of heads because it's rare for a high school kid to run something that fast. Now, if you're a running back, I would say probably generally around a 4.7. Obviously, you're a little bit thicker than the wide receivers and the DBs, so it's acceptable to run maybe a little bit slower of a 40 time. But when you look at those running backs at the combine, even those thicker guys, they're running 4.4s, 4.3s. So like that 4.6 to 4.7 range is probably where you should be at a high school level. Let's talk about tight ends. I would equip like tight ends and linebackers in the same group. I would say probably like a 4.8 or a 4.9 depending on your size. Obviously your size plays a major role in this, but when you look at like Division I linebackers, Division I tight ends, bro, freaks of nature, and they are running solid 40 times when they are 220 pounds plus, and some tight ends are 6'4" plus. So like if you want to compete at that level, just generally know that that's what you're getting into. But that's what I would say is probably average for a high school standard. Now let's talk about linemen. O-line, wouldn't worry too much about it, but anywhere from like maybe a 5'2" to like a 5'6", like 5'2" is actually probably pretty fast. I'd probably say like a 5'4" to a 5'6", somewhere in that range. D-line, I would probably say like 5'1", 5'2", to anywhere like 5'5", 5'6", 6'6". D linemen are generally faster nowadays, guys. You look at some of the freakiest D linemen at the combine, like they're running crazy 40 times, you guys. So like the game is evolving. That pass rusher, that edge rusher is generally becoming a better athlete every year. So you just have to be aware of that. So let's say you're not hitting these averages. Let's say you're not where you want to be speed-wise. What can you do to improve? And that's what we're going to be discussing now. So there are 3 things that you could generally do to improve your 40-yard dash. So first things first, let's talk about the technique. So let's talk about the start. So a general start that I got back when I was a player that helped me out a lot was focused on really shin angles and something called the drive phase. So everybody's got their own way to get into their 40-yard dash stance. I remember I would put my toes on the line. I would take a step back with my left foot and put my left toe even with my right heel. And then what I would do is I would bring my right knee down to the middle part of my left foot. I'd put my hands on the line and I would sit my butt up, and my shin angles would be in a 45-degree angle. That was generally like the goal. Everybody's got a different stance. Some guys start with their back turned, so your stance is your stance, and you could easily look that up if you want to find a specific stance that fits to you. That's just what I use. I'm not saying that that's like a perfect way to do it, but it helped me. So because I used to be like way far back from the line, my shin angles would be straight up and down. So you want to be here. Now when you stand up in your 40 stance, your hand opposite of the foot that is back wants to be holstered. A lot of guys go up, but I feel from being up and having to come all the way down, it just takes a while. I just feel like that can hurt your time more than help your time. So I like having it holstered right here, like a gun holster on your waist, and you shoot up. But when you shoot up for the first 10 yards, we were trying to be powerful with my arm swings and powerful with my leg drive. And the reason why we want to do that is our concern is creating explosiveness for the first 10 yards. So we could hit the finish line at top speed. Energy creates acceleration. So that's what you should focus on for the first 10 yards. And if you focus on that technique, I truly believe your 40 time will be faster. Now, second thing is going to be explosive movements in the gym, especially for that start, that drive phase. You got to have some explosion. So you should be doing box jumps. You should be doing Olympic lifts. So like, what's an Olympic lift? That would be like a hang clean, or a power clean, or a hang clean, or a push jerk. Anything explosive where you're having to move weight fast, and any type of plyometric jump training will help. And last but not least, something that helped me out a lot, you guys, that helped with that acceleration phase. A lot of athletes ask me, how do I improve my acceleration? Training resistance. I remember 2 times a week, I would go to a local high school, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes from here, from exactly where I'm filming, and I would run stadiums. So dude, I would run, I call them bleachers, but I'd probably do, god dang, how many would I do? I would do 3 or 4 bleachers, and it was 6 of them. So I'd go up 1, go to the next set of stairs, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be like 24 sprints uphill Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is that a lot? Probably. Is that overtraining? Maybe. I felt like it helped me out a lot. It definitely got me faster. You don't have to go to a stadium. You could run with a sled. You could run with a parachute. You could run up a hill. Nowadays, what I do, because obviously I'm not an athlete anymore. I try to stay in shape. And something that I do is there's a hill. I live in Long Beach, California, or I live close to it, I should say. And there's a hill in Signal Hill, if you guys are familiar with that. If you look it up on my TikTok, you'll find it. It's ridiculous. But I run sprints up that hill every Tuesday morning. And honestly, like that, I wish I knew about that hill back when I played, because that would have gotten me faster. So guys, any type of resistance training will help your time dramatically. Any type of explosive training will help your time dramatically. And if you focus on the start, your time will improve.